This conference will now be recorded.
How Prometheus service. Prometheus service. DevOps school. Now, how to create a service. So see here, this code you stored it where? In this location in the Linux, and that this name can be anything, but whatever the name, that will become your service name. So inside that you will find many services. Okay, here ls here, and these are the services already there. So you can create a more service. The moment you create a service, you can stop from the command. Now important thing is, see here it says some of the specification unit, service specification run by root. What should be run? This one. This is a whole command should be run. Got it?
Never. Okay, in our real time, right? So I installed the Prometheus in my Linux server. So agents are installed in all web servers. So it's pointing to server. So if anything is port is not listening, if I wanted to start or stop or restart, so I can use this service, right?
Yeah, this service.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, one more
So
example, you have to create a
usually it
service.
will automatically up and running is high available, right? In wherever Prometheus is installed.
Yeah, if you
Okay.
enable the service, it will automatically start.
Mhm.
Manually also with this command you can start actually.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So now today we'll talk about the Grafana. So let's start with the Grafana.
Yeah. So you mentioned right last class. So we don't have clustering concept and all. Is there any capacity planning we can do? Okay. Suppose I have 1 TB of data is coming per day. The requests are
Mhm.
coming. The logs are
Yeah.
generating. So
So
how I need
uh,
to?
what we what we do typically, there's an option one, we have to have a heavy end of node. That is the one thing. Second one, you can store in the remote storage. So
Okay.
remote storage, Prometheus supports multiple actually. So if you see
Yeah.
here, remote storage. So you can also do this remote storage. Um, let me here.
Okay, regularly I need to take backup and move to the old data to the remote storages. That way I
That's
can make my server available. Okay, otherwise I
yeah,
need to create a node.
yeah.
Okay.
There should be some remote storage list of it. I'm not able to locate it. It's here. These are the one. So these are the supported remote storage with Prometheus. So that you can use it for that.
Do you think of any, I mean, capacity planning calculators or something like so?
No, basically in this all you do based on the experience, because calculator
Mm.
it will take for the certain matrix only how much writing you are doing
Okay.
in a per day. So
Mm-hmm.
likewise you can calculate. So you have to calculate 1 day total, and then
Mm.
accordingly you multiply how many days of backup you want. 30
We
days,
want.
100
Okay.
days. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Got it.
likewise. Okay. So let's get started with the Grafana. So what is Grafana? So yes, Grafana is a dashboard, very popular dashboard. So last time we accessed the Prometheus, and we had access the port number 1991 or 1990 also. So you saw that very simple search were there. So that is not useful for us to create more better graphs, dashboard, alerting, and many more. So that is where the Grafana is coming. So Grafana, which is can be used for dashboard anything and observe anything. So query, visualize, alerts on using Grafana. So yeah, so he's the founder of Grafana, Torkel, and as per his, the goal when creating Grafana was to make the things which I found hard, other people found hard, and more easy and accessible. That way, more people could actually start instrumenting their application and creating dashboard by themselves. So yeah, dashboard Grafana is open source basically, but there is one more thing which we have a Grafana stake, which is a paid one. So Grafana earlier when it got introduced, they started with a dashboarding solution. But in the current form, what you see is Grafana is becoming observability platform. So it is doing a lot of other stuff also. So for this session, we'll be focused only on dashboarding things, not any other stuff. So built on open source, and you see the Apache license is there 3.0, and multiple information like Fox, stars, and all. These are the number of contributors which we have in Grafana 1715, and you know multiple contributed community contributions also you have. So yeah, they're offering three things. One is open source, which is a dashboard, but they are offering Grafana as a company offering the cloud and enterprise, which is basically for observability and stuff like that, which we are not covering, but we'll focus on the dashboard solution only. So these are some of the difference which we have between the OSS and Cloud Pro, and Enterprise as well. So I'll just ignore it. Hmm. So cloud, these are the features which you have in the cloud. Just for knowledge purpose, you can just read about it, but not required for us. This is some of the enterprise supports you'll get 365, 24/7 days and all. So apart from this, Grafana not only develop a dashboard, but many other tools also they have contributed it. So they have Graphite, they have Tanka, they have K6, they have Cortex, they have Loki, they have contributed a lot in Prometheus, Tempo, Open Telemetry. So lots of product they have contributed, and many of these are open source actually. We'll focus on the dashboard for querying, visualizing, and alerting. Okay, so Grafana, where you can install. So basically, Grafana you can install in any platform, Windows, Mac, Linux, wherever it is. In this session, we will install in Linux. Which dashboard is supported by Grafana? So Grafana supported by all the SQL, that means RDBMS, which include SQLite, MySQL, PostgreSQL, and stuff like that. So these are the database support for this. Okay, so you can install all this in all the platform. Latest version is 8x. So I think 9x. I need to check that. So likewise. Okay, so this is something. Now Grafana has been developed in TypeScript. So you look at this here, 60% of the code is in TypeScript, and then remaining in Golang, and both are platform independent. And apart from that, we have a front end also. So for that, so Grafana Cloud, we are offering this services. I'll just ignore it. So now, uh, this slide is very important. Look at this here. In this session, we are using Grafana as a Prometheus only, but Grafana do supports everything. So you can explore the Elasticsearch data also using Grafana. You can explore Prometheus, which I'll do that today anyways. You can use the SQL Server also. You can do that. So here, Grafana support PromQL, which is a Prometheus query language on Prometheus. Grafana support DSL language, query DSL, which is supported by Elasticsearch. And Grafana also support T-SQL for the Microsoft SQL Server. So likewise, you can use multiple support for Grafana. So please remember that you can use for the anything dashboarding solution. So these are the data sources which you can add it. By the way, this is a little old 2022 data. So you can check that few more options will be there. So many data sources you can add it in a Grafana. We will add Prometheus as part of this. Okay, so now let me show you the demo for this. So how do we install the Grafana? So just type Grafana installation DevOps, enter, and now this will help us to get started. Okay, so here we are using 8x for this demo, and this is the OSS version of it. Okay, so let me get started with it. So this is the machines which I'm going to use it. So first thing, I'll go to OPT directory and download this folder file and untar it. And here cd and go to cd bin. And now if you want to start the Grafana, you can start the Grafana server in the background process. So here I'm starting the Grafana in the background process. So after that, you can go ahead and access this Grafana when the URL which you have is um, this one, 3000. Username is admin and admin. So that is how you can access the Grafana. Okay, so now let me check this first. So IP address which you have here and port number 3000 which we have here. Username is admin, password is also admin, and they're asking for resetting the password. So admin 123 admin 123 and some
It
done.
doesn't have to be in the same Prometheus server, right? Any server I can install.
Any server, I mean, yeah, in Linux, Windows, Mac, anything you can install it.
Okay.
That's not to be. Okay, so now this is the got Grafana. Now I need to have Prometheus. So let's go and get the Prometheus. So here you have Prometheus server from the last session. So history, and how do we start the Prometheus server? So I can start it, but I will lose this. So let me do that. Lose the console. Done. So Prometheus is done. Now ps hyphen. Okay, I have to do as a root. Sorry. Sudo hyphen s. So now Prometheus is ready. So now what to do? So here this is the place. Here you can search the dashboard. So you have so many dashboard here. You can create a dashboard. You can see the list of dashboard. Right now I don't have anything actually. You can create a folder, okay, playlist and all stuff like that. So dashboard will come later, little bit later. If you want to explore the data, this is the place you can explore the data. Right now I don't have any data sources, it's empty. So this is the one. You want to manage the alerting and notification channels, here you can do that. Right now I don't have any alerts, I'll create it. And here you can configure the Grafana. Now this is the open source. So here you have a data source, users, teams, plugins, preference, API keys, and some security related issues, related things you have here. You can add a user's org settings and all. So by default, Grafana is created one organizations, which I want to show you. See here, main organization. That means whatever I will do now, it'll be part of main organizations, but you can create a new organizations also, and these organizations will have their own data sources, users, team, plugin preferences and all. So now the configuration which you see is from the main organizations. Okay, so let's start with the data source first. I'm going to add a data source which is a Prometheus localhost only. So these are the data source we can add it for learning purpose. Right now we have only one Prometheus. Select, give the user ID, I mean give the URL, access list, authentication if any, and all these things. So right now those are not there. So HTTP localhost, which is and 9090. no authentication is there, so everything is okay, and save and exit, save and test. I updated and data source is working, and back. So this is the things. So now we have Prometheus. Okay, so we have added the Prometheus. Prometheus started running also here. Now what I'll do, I'll go here, open a screen and Ubuntu and start the node also. So go to the OPT node exporter. I'll also start it, and here I started node exporter also. So now we'll have a certain data automatically. So this is the one. Now how can we explore the data? So go to this place, explore it, and now select what is the source, Prometheus. Here it is. Now as I said, it's supported by PromQL. So here we can learn the PromQL. Now easy way in Prometheus, easy way to learn the PromQL is browse the metrics. So click on this. So whatever the metrics you have stored in the Prometheus, you will have it. So let's say you can search for it, all these metrics. Let's say CPU. So these are the metrics which is related to CPU. So node underscore, that is means that is coming from the node. That matrix is coming from the node exporter. So you can see that total, second, and some of the memory, percentage CPU bytes. So all this thing you can decide this. Memory, the memory is one actually. Okay, mem-free bytes, percentage. I selected the percentage. So what is the things you selected? Percentage. Now you filter by what instance. So you have only one, and then job, only one job, Linux. So these are the tags you had it, and now this is your PromQL. Okay, this you can run in the Prometheus also. Let me show you. 1990, right here. So this query you can run here also and execute. See, this is the value you should got it, right? You want to check in the graph. Here it is, right? So this is the graph little bit started just now. So same way you can do it here also. So huge query and see same graph. You see that here. Look at this. So this is more interactive and so on. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yeah, Raj. But even province is also giving the graph. Even here also giving the graph, right? Oh, I mean, uh, what
Ah,
the
so
more
this is
useful? Mhm.
so here a lot of features. No, this is exploration, only one feature. But here you can create a dashboard also, alerting also. You can
Mhm.
manage multiple data sources at one place. This you cannot do all this thing. It's one simple query and graph, table and graph. That's all. You cannot store the output also here.
Mhm.
Here I just run it, right? So query history, you see, these are the things I run it. Correct now. You can
Okay.
make it favorite also. Lots of features you have here for 1 week of
Kind
data
of
load.
monitoring tool, right? So this could be.
Monitoring, we are not using Grafana. We are using
Mhm.
Grafana stake for monitoring. Both are different, okay? Don't get confused.
Okay.
Grafana stake is for monitoring observability, but we install the OSS version, which is not having any monitoring capabilities.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the stuff. And so yeah, you can explore the data, create and learn the PromQL, and here you can split, you can create a second, let's say disk here, disk now, instance, all this thing, and use. So it's empty right now. There's nothing here coming. Ah, it's here. So likewise. Sorry. So you can work on it. You can delete this window, and so likewise you can decide that how much data you want. Let's say last 30 days, and see that. Sorry. So here you can decide that how old data you want. So I had a data a little bit last week data, and then now we started getting data. So all this thing. This is the value which you are getting right now in tabular format. This is a graph format.
So even if a business give me the logs and ask me to create the dashboards for that, even that also I can create instead of fetching from the data sources. Is
Yeah,
there any
yeah,
possibility in okay? Mm-hmm.
yeah. So you can add more sources also here. Let's say
Okay.
if you're new way for the PromQL, examples are here. You can enable this also. So while exploring some examples, you can see that here. Okay, so this is the exploration feature which we have. Now what to do? So basically you have to create a dashboard. Once your exploring is done, you have to create a dashboard. So let's go for this, and here create a dashboard. Now this dashboard, you can name it if you want anything here. Save this dashboard to the DevOps school, and this dashboard is named with DevOps school. Now this dashboard, we need a widgets. So you can add a panel here, and same way, again explore the data same way, and go for CPU, and let's say CPU second total, and same thing which explorations, and use this query. Now this is the dashboard. You can modify also how long you want CPU title. Here you can make a transparent background, solid line, tabular format, all this thing you can do that. And some right, left, all this thing you can specify, and actual from last 1 hour, or let's say 15 minutes. So this all you can create it. You can also do some mathematical formulas also. So expressions are there here, and then save, and apply. Done. So now likewise you will keep adding. So this is CPU utilization. You can see that for this. So same way disk utilization, you can add disk here. Uh, here go for here, search for disk, and disk byte merged, all this thing you have. So here I'm just looking for the size actually, disk size. So here I'll select all this thing from localhost Linux and use query. This is your disk utilizations for the multiple mount, and here you can go for disk and do all this beautification, apply. Now you can drag this and make it here. So likewise you can create a dashboard and then widgets and then save it. Done. So I have created a dashboard here. Now here you have a home, and here I have created one dashboard under the DevOps school. This is the one. You can create more actually, and create a folder, playlist, all stuff like that. So here you can create a folder X, and you can move that dashboard to X. So let's say here you have a one dashboard, right? So here this is the dashboard, and it's part of general right now. You can add it, move it to X. These are the things, management of dashboard, you can do that.
Can I
You can
share
create a,
this one?
which one? Yeah, you can share this. So go to the folder here, and just here share button. You can share the dashboard. Okay. So
Oh,
likewise, so yeah, here you can manage the dashboard. You want to play on the screen, then you can create a playlist. I have only one, so this is a playlist. I have only one dashboard, so you can select that one and save it. You can select a multiple also and start playlist. So on the screen it will keep refreshing and all kind of things. Stop playlist 15 minutes, all this thing. So yeah, you can explore the data. Here you can create a dashboard. Here you can add a sources. Okay. And here you can add a users. If you want to add more users, you have a users here also. So why we have two places? So mind it. Here you have a org label. See, these all org label data source, org label users, teams, plugins, and preferences. Here, this is a system level, server level. So you can create here also user, no problem. You can create here also. So org label means multiple projects you may have it. So you can create a org. Here I'm creating DevOps X org. So now every org will have their own data source. So right now, remember, I am in the uh, DevOps X. So do we have, let me see, switch to DevOps X. So see here, current org is DevOps X. Do you have any data source for this? No, because I did not add it. I added for main. So I'm going to switch to main now. And now do you have a data source here? Yes, one you have. So likewise, you can create a, users for it. So invite users. Right now at org level, you can invite users. Here you can also create a users. So here new user, name Rajesh, Rajesh at the rate of Rajesh.com, Rajesh, Rajesh 123, create users. So simple, it was creating users. But if you at the org level, you have to invite it. Now this you can keep a part of some team also. So you can create a team here, team, DevOps team, and the team email ID DevOps at the rate of DevOps.com created. Now team has to have a users, right? So you can search Rajesh, the one which I created, Rajesh, and you can add this. So now here you manage the team also. So you create a team. Here you have a users. You can install the plugins also. Plugins means additional features. If you want to install any additional features, you can install it. Thousands of plugins you will find it here. Okay. So again, it's completely depends on the use cases. So what exactly your requirement is. So accordingly, we'll find all this different types of plugins and install it and use it. So some of the stats, you will see that here: pie chart, Gantt chart, world map, and many other stuff we have actually. You can develop your own plugin also. So let's say this is already installed actually. So these plugins we are already installed actually. So if you want to install some more plugin, you can go to here, setting, and I think here also you can go for it. These are the installed plugins. So go for this. You have to log in this website. Let's say MongoDB plugin, I want to install it. So try in the cloud, this option is there, but it is not there in this. So this is only for cloud actually. So go for, let's say, Jira, and here installation instructions you have. So this is for cloud. Surprise, this is also for cloud, not for OSS. So you have to search for some OSS plugin by here, all enterprise community created. So likewise, installations, and this is for, you see. So this command, if you run in the Grafana server, Grafana CLI command. This will install it actually. Okay, so like if you go for this, duplicate 1 to CD hyphen. Go to the OPT Grafana and bin, and here this is the CLI. So on this command, and that plugin will be installed. So now you require a restart and so on. So this is the way, depends on the open source plugin you can install and improve the functionality. So here you have few settings just for knowledge purpose. You can fine tune also. So where's the configuration file? So configuration file for Grafana is under the conf directory. If you want to fine tune, these are the files you can fine tune actually. So toml, this file dep, this is the default.ini, this is the configuration file for Grafana. So many entries are there. So if anything you want to change it, you can change it. So that stats here you have users are already covered. Now you can create a, if you want to talk to the Grafana through API, you can generate API key. This is an endpoint, user and keys. You can generate a key, and then that key you can use as a, this is a key. Sorry, this is the key. This is example for this, how to use it. So this is the endpoint, and this is the key you have to use it for that. So this is just for login and to check, but API key documentations you have here. For now, API and a lot of things what you can do through UI, you can do through the creating through the API also. So all these things is possible. Okay, so did you understand this, all of you?
Yeah, Raj.
Okay, so now the question is, how do we create alerts? So now let me create alerts here. And so here we see, uh, here there's no add button to create alerts. And if you see here notification channel, you can do that. So notification channel means whether you want email or Slack or team or what exactly. So you can add a notification channel. So here email, SMTP server, for that I need to modify this file which I showed you, this one, but I don't have SMTP server, so faking around. Email address, uh, SRE as the rate of SRE.com. So this is a notification channel. By the way, you have so many options available here. You see webhook, vector ops, telegram, Slack, many options are there, and save it. Testing, I'm not doing it because this is just a fake. So notification channels, I added it, but I cannot add alerts here. So where to add alerts? So basically you can add alerts through the graph. Where is the graph? So my graph is on the dashboard. So this is the dashboard, and here only you can create alerts. So let's say whatever the data which you're getting, let's say CPU, I'm going to modify. I want to modify, but it's not working. If I click here, it should take me to that edit button. Let me double click. Let me try alternative. I'm clicking over there, but it's not coming. Yeah, so there's some UI issues actually. So make it bigger, click here and then edit. Okay, now make it small. So here only you can add the alerts. How do you do that? So see here, alerts 0. So this graph, what is the value by the way? So value is somewhere here, 40,000, something like that. That's the value. So if you want that, create alerts here. You can create alerts. Name of the alerts, disk alerts for every 1 minute. Evaluate every 1 minute for 5 minutes. If it is like that, then query average of is above or is below or whatever exactly, and add that value. So if it is below, what is value is 40,000 bytes. This is in bytes actually. Okay, so bytes. I'll just put it above so that way you get it 100. So if it is coming, this value is coming 100. Of course, it is 100. Then you get a done. You can add a multiple conditions actually. There's a one condition I'm adding. Average of query for 5 minutes above 1000. And here you can send to what? Send to email notification channel. Hello, disk is more than 1000. That's you can design all this thing and test rules and all this thing you can do that. And this is the right side also you have many options to get started. Done. So this is the JSON file which will allow you to do the test rules and then save it and apply. So now I created one alert for the disk. Can I go and check? See here, disk alert. Now automatically it will trigger if the conditions are true. So this is the way you can add the alerting mechanism. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yes, Raj. So you have created notification channel, right? As soon as it reaches the alert is created, it will send out the email to that channel. Is that
Right,
correct?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So these are the things you have to do. Very simple. OSS is very simple. Not much complications are there. How much you can do that? So explore the data again from here. Create a dashboard here. Create a manage the alert here. Notification channels here. And if you want to add more data source here, users, teams, plugins, and some open references.
So once
Any
we get
questions?
the alert, so we need to go to that particular chart and which data source, that data source is coming from which web server or something. We can
Right,
do the digging into that. Okay.
right, yeah. So exploring, if you do, it will help you to, let's say here, let's say HTTP, let's say Apache I have,
Mm.
no, but CPU I'll be having it. So let's say here, and you can filter it from which side you want it. So all this thing here, you can filter it and then decide actually. And this code, you can use it for anywhere also.
Okay, so you're saying this particular code I can use for other
Yeah,
servers. Is that
yeah,
correct? Okay.
yeah.
Mm.
You have to change only this instance.
Instance and the job. Job is
Yeah,
always Linux, right?
Apache.
Servers. Yeah.
Hmm.
Apache. Okay.
Okay, so practice it, and tomorrow also we'll connect for one topic and we'll get going. I'll share the recording in some time.
Okay, sure, Raj. Thank you. And Raj, so Sunday also we do have class, right?